In this video, I'm going to show you how I made my Miku Append cosplay based on the TDA Miku Append model from Miku Miku Dance. So let's get started. I hope you enjoy. So now I'm going to do this glove, and as I work on it, I'll show you guys my process so that I can explain how you end up with this result. First thing you need to do is put on the glove, and that space right there where it's kind of gappy, you're going to take your hand, or your other hand, and pinch it, and then put pins in, and then kind of connect the dots. I'll show you guys what I mean. So the reason why you want to take in on this side, even though the hem or the seam line is on this side, is because when you pinch from that angle, it twists the fabric, and only when you put your arm in a certain direction it looks straight. But if you pinch from this side, it takes out the slack and makes it smooth all around. So you might need someone to help you with this. Pinch the slack in one part, and take your pin and sort of mark where you want to go. And then you'll take another pin and then pinch the slack there, and then pin it like that, and then connect the two dots with a pin across like that, and then you'll have the slack completely pulled out. But I think I'm going to have somebody help me with this so that I can make it accurate and look good. Just be careful you don't poke yourself, because obviously you have exposed pins. Okay, so now I've sort of connected it, and with chalk I marked where my wrist is and kind of the general shape of the glove. But I'm going to grab the other gloves to kind of compare and make sure that they're symmetrical but opposite at the same time. Okay, so I have the other glove here. Now to get the effect on the other side, I flipped it over and laid it on top and kind of drew out the design, and I think for the most part it'll be the same, but just to make sure I made some extra room, so I'm going to cut out that area and then continue. So as I cut out the gloves, since we're going to need that middle finger, they're so close together that you need extra material to sew and cut into the glove. So like inside of this one is the leftover material that I later cut, but you need some so you can make sure you hem it so you have a clean line and it doesn't fray or rip. So I cut open the inside of the fingers here, as you can see, so that I can cut out that material. So now I've cut out the majority of the shape of the glove and left the extra material. But now what I did is, along the pins, I cut it open with the scissors. So I'm going to go in and take chalk and drag it along that edge, so that when I flip it inside out, I can see what I'm sewing. Okay, so I went ahead and finished the glove. So what I did was I sewed the inside part right there, and I hemmed that part. I just folded it over, pinned it, and hand sewed this part. Hand sewed the finger as before and tucked everything inside. This one ended up being a little off, and I'm sure you can see that like it goes straight and then it continues, and then this has like an edge, whereas this one is like more towards the middle finger, I guess. I'll turn it inside out now so you can see. So yeah, this one kind of curves up that way a little bit, and then the interior seam right here has a little bit of a loop, whereas this one's a little more clean. But either way, it looks fairly the same on, so I'm not going to mess with it too much. I think it looks fine, and realistically, having this part on the hand be completely flat is sort of impossible, and I mean just with the fabric alone. But what I could do is put fashion tape underneath and attach it to my hand, which I might do. But I think it all depends on comfort too, because the tension will lie on your middle finger, so when you move your hand forward, it'll pull the rest of the glove forward. So if you do use fashion tape, or if I use fashion tape, just be careful because it might hurt your hand or stretch your hand out. Okay, so obviously this is a huge contraption, but in the meantime my phone wasn't able to record video, so I had to turn it off and put it down for a second. But right now I marked the saturation of or where I needed to focus the spray paint on. So I put an S for saturation and then a little tick mark here and here to tell me where the fade ends, and I did the same over here. And because I want it to be smooth, I tried to fill the inside of this stuff with materials that could hold up the fabric while I sprayed it. So I'm gonna get started on that. Okay, so I started spraying it, and this stuff is really hard to work with, and I don't feel like I ruined them, but like I'm just not happy with the big splotches, so I'll have to figure something out. But other than that, I'll try and figure something out, but I'm a little disappointed because things were going really well up until this point, so I don't really know what to do. It's pretty late at night and I painted everything, but I need it to dry. But this is kind of what it looks like now. In the light it looks okay, but as you can see there's some obvious splotching. I talked to one of my cosplayer friends for some ideas, and I think I might try and use some tomorrow. It doesn't look terrible, but not 100% what I wanted, but we'll see. I think I have an idea of how I can fix it. Okay, so I'm gonna try and even out the spray on the pieces, and I made another contraption. And what I'm gonna do with this is get some paint on a bristle brush, which is an old toothbrush right here. Scrape it on this, and then hope that the splatters are small enough to get on the suit. And yeah, quite obviously there is a lot of splattering happening and not quite that ombre look that I need. This is not too bad, but like as you can see, those lines there are not quite what I want, so I'm gonna try and even everything out the best I can. I tried the toothbrush method and I don't think it's gonna work because it just clogs up the bristles, and the framing thing doesn't really work that great either. And so this is the old one that I used, and it sprayed everywhere and it was a mess. I just used a brand new one and it works great. So I think I might have just gotten a really bad can before, but this one works fine. It sprays a nice mist and it looks great. So that's how it looks right now. There's still like obvious like splotching, but I'm gonna go and try and layer over that and see if that fits. So I just did the last spray on these guys, and I think they look pretty darn good. So I'm pretty happy with the arm pieces. And I think the arm pieces are slightly more important than the legs because, you know, obviously my hands will be up, but I think they look fine. So that's great. The leg pieces are all the way over there. I'm gonna fix those up soon. Okay, so I just got this in the mail. And I'm super excited because it looks awesome, and it fits great too, and it also covers my butt, which is really important to me because I don't care much for that kind of cheeky look, I guess you could say. But anyway, it has a really nice finish. It's kind of like it's not pearlescent, but it has that nice sheen. It is definitely modifiable, and there's plenty of room and space to do that, and I think it is a little tight, but once I cut out that middle section it'll probably be fine. The texture is really good and it fits my body shape great, so I think it's gonna work out awesome. So I'm really excited for that.